It's week 30 and the weekly update is addressing the heavy ammo bug that has you crying. That, a new loot cave, and more coming up.
You're listening to Destiny the Show. Welcome, Guardians.
What's up, everybody? My name is BBK Dragoon, joined as always by my friend Ditty. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. It rained this morning, so that kind of sucked, but it's sunny now, so I'm in high moods, high hopes.
Dude,
good
it's
mood.
weird
Whatever.
in Colorado. We've been getting snow from like this big wet system that's moving through, but it's like rain. It's not like snow. I mean, it can be like 10 o'clock at night and it's raining here, which doesn't happen in January in Colorado. Like, at least where I'm at, it's a super weird year for weather. Like, just not used to it. Is it in like Texas? Has it been normal?
It's been surprisingly warm, and I say that because it's Texas, but like for the winter time in January, it usually doesn't get above 60 until like mid-February, but it's been in 60s and 70s the past couple days, so it's been pretty nice. I mean, in the evening it gets 40, 30, but nothing unbearable, so it's actually been pretty warm.
Right on. What did you play this week outside of Destiny, and then what did you do inside of Destiny?
Outside of Destiny, that's a pretty good question. Not a lot, actually. I think I just mainly played Destiny. I maybe played one or two League games, but I don't remember if that was last week or this week.
Yeah.
But with the school schedule getting finalized and everything, I had to focus a little bit more on that. But
For sure.
Yeah, so not really much outside of Destiny.
Inside Destiny, what'd you get done?
I actually fired up the PlayStation. I have PlayStation Plus again, so hopefully be able to play. I got tons of DTS fan friend requests over on the PlayStation. Thank you guys so much. I added all of you who sent me messages saying you were fans of the show, and I actually played with a couple guys, and I'm trying to grind my hunter over there to Crota's end level of relevance. All of my gear is pre-Dark Below. And I'm only level 27. I have a blue helmet, and I was just grinding rock strikes last night, getting those engrams, grinding the Cryptarch, and hopefully getting some of those Vanguard marks to purchase some new Vanguard gear.
It's like a step back in time, man. You and I did some rock playlist stuff too with Sassy, and oh my gosh. Well, that's actually the footage that people are probably watching on YouTube right now. So many orbs between the Obsidian Mind and Nova Bomb, where if you're a Warlock, you Nova Bomb, you've got a maxed Obsidian Mind helmet. It actually gives you extra energy for how many people that you kill, like how many orbs of light you generate. You get that energy back. And with you two both being hunters with Golden Gun, it was ridiculous. Like at the end score screen of Omnigul, I think I had like 65 orbs you had given me, and both of you had like 40 or 50 orbs. It was nuts. Just gobbling like a candy machine, right?
Yeah, I personally broke the max orbs record for strikes, and you're right. 60 for you. I think it was 55 for me and 56 for Sassy. So that was a lot of orbs. I kind of want to do some YouTube content for high level rock strikes. Like this is how high level strike players do strikes, and it's just like that Omnigul strike is perfect for spawning orbs because that first room has so many yellow bars, and it's just like wave after wave of enemies that you can just kill, and infinite supers. It's pretty good time.
Totally. Well, this week I just mainly played Destiny. I'm doing the Dark Souls 2 DLC. I'm halfway through the second DLC out of 3. Really good. It's a great game. I can't believe I missed it last year. Huge fan of that series. It's going to keep me sane. I don't know actually what's going to keep me sane all the way through February. I'm going to continue to play Destiny, obviously, but like when we're getting to like the beginning of March before House of Wolves comes out, it's either going for a max level Titan or I don't know, because there's just such a gap. I don't know. February seems huge. Are you interested in Evolve? Before we get to the news, I'm going to get there in just a second, but like Evolve's coming out in like 10 days, and I just don't really care that much about the game.
Sanic is actually, she got into the beta for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was an open beta or not, but she got a code, and she was playing with it with some of her friends, and she actually really loved it. It was on the PC though, but
yeah, PC Master Race.
It actually looks pretty sweet.
Okay,
the concept as playing as the beast was actually really cool to see, and so I'm pretty excited about it.
Nice. Well, I'm going to wait for day one review scores. I'm actually going to be a good gamer this year and avoid the pre-order hypeness, which is actually not true. I'm going to still break the rule on a few things. All right, neither here nor there. Let's get to the news. Bit of a dry week, but we have found some awesome links from across the internet sphere, and the first is the Bungie Weekly Update, which was Ditty. I was kind of let down, honestly. Like this weekly update and last week's update were pretty light. Am I crazy for saying so?
No, I was expecting some more hard mode Crota stats, but
yeah,
Bungie failed to deliver there. And you know, with Xur selling Icebreaker a few weeks ago, I kind of wanted to see the numbers on that. I think I read somewhere on the internet about the numbers, but nothing official from Bungie. So it's still a pretty good weekly update trying to explain this heavy ammo glitch.
Hey, I love Deej. I love the update, and I'm complaining about something that is a benefit to get. But yeah, if you didn't hear about this, there's a heavy ammo bug that's within the game. And if you die, go to orbit, hit a cutscene, there's a chance that you can lose your heavy ammo. And this is being addressed, and hopefully a patch is going to fix it by the end of February. The majority of this update is actually a programmer. I'm very sorry I don't have the link up and I don't have his name. And he's giving basically an interview back and forth between Deej and him. And it just sort of describes how complex these things can be. Solving something small can create new problems. And Ditty knows way more about programming than I do. Can you talk a little bit about that, like complexity of you can actually introduce new issues by trying to fix old ones?
Yeah. League of Legends is a huge, they're a very good example of something called spaghetti code, where if you try and take out one strand of spaghetti, you pick up three more, and it's just trying to fix one thing just causes a whole bunch of mess for other things, and you kind of have to work around it. And trying to fix this one heavy ammo glitch is it's actually pretty difficult because you have tons of different developers, programmers trying to write something, trying to write one thing. And it's like, if you ever worked on a group project at school,
yeah,
you have 5 people and you're trying to write like a 20-page essay. You say, okay, we each write 4 pages. You have 5 people in the group. 4 pages times 5 is 20 pages. We get it done. And then you don't have transitions between the parts, and it just doesn't mesh very well. So you actually kind of have to, once you get all the parts together, you kind of have to link them somehow. And I think that's where they're running into the issues here. And it's actually the Sandbox engineer, John Cable, who talks about the heavy ammo glitch. And I am no programmer, but I do work in the field of IT, so I kind of understand it, but not really. So go ahead and read that Bungie Weekly Update interview from John Cable for a really good explanation of why it's doing what it's doing.
Excellent. Minimalistic wallpapers from Wabbajack. These are awesome. You sent me this. What is this album?
Yeah, so this artist, Wabbajack, has been doing minimalistic wallpaper, exotic weapons wallpapers, a series on Reddit, and he just posted part 5. He has Invective, Monte Carlo, No Land Beyond, Red Death, Suros Regime, The Fourth Horseman, The Last Word, Thorn, Thunderlord, Vex, Mythoclast, Dragon's Breath, Hardlight, Hawkmoon, and Icebreaker, all in minimalistic style, all in 4K resolution, which is 3960 by 2160. For all of you to enjoy. And if you're running Windows, I guess Mac can do it too. You can have it, your background reference an album, and it'll just loop through all those. So if you guys want to go check those out, definitely check that in the show notes.
Exactly. There's a new loot cave. Rejoice and get on this before it gets patched, everybody. This is on Venus Patrol. The link is in the description of this video or on our website, destinytheshow.com. If you aren't familiar with what Loot Cave was,
long ago, there was a cave in which enemies spawned in the Cosmodrome. Guardians from all around would flock to shoot their weapons in the hole. The enemies would respawn forever.
And you could just literally sit there and farm all you wanted to, and at the end of the day, this was prior to the changes of the loot, prior to, the loot caves basically being taken out. Bungie is kind of good about surgically removing these exploit areas where players find a spot where they can make enemies spawn continuously. They shoot and kill them, and by doing this, you get a really high chance of engrams dropping. So after like an hour of farming these places, you come back to the tower with a ton of engrams and usually get some good gear, or at least rank your Cryptarch rank up to get a purple or some sort of item that you want. If you want to know the exact place, again, check out our website for the video of this. /u/win_chesters has an easy hard mode Crota strategy. That sounded really weird, but basically this is a hard mode Crota strategy that's very easy, and anybody who is new to Crota's End, this is a must watch. Teaches you how to do the Crota encounter without worrying about boomers, a very easy to handle sword bearer, and little chance for death. Did you get a chance to at least like look at it or just, peek it a little bit?
Yeah, I did, and the tactics are actually pretty solid for people who are new to the Crota raid. Yeah. And it's actually or hard mode, excuse me. It's actually kind of funny because I was doing hard mode this past week with Sassy and Lurker and a few other guys, and we were trying to get like the second sword bearer dead, but he ran up the stairs and like hid in that room. Like, not exactly where the Death Singer is or where the spawn crystal is, but like he ran back into that place, and we're like, "Where's the sword bearer? We can't find him." It was actually kind of funny that he was just goofing around, the sword bearer, and AI, But if you're looking for some pretty good hard mode tactics, this one's actually pretty solid.
Awesome. From Reddit user New Rome. When the Oversoul kills you, this is referring to the Crota's End raid, when the Oversoul kills you, it drains about 25 to 30% of your super meter, which will be gone when you respawn. If you allow yourself to get killed by an enemy, instead of the Oversoul, you keep all of your super upon respawn. This, of course, allows for many more orbs and perhaps more health at the start of the fight. Now, Ditty, this is very useful, don't you think?
It really is, especially for hard mode,
Yes.
If you have a Titan, Defender Titan in your raid group, and he has a super, but you spawn the Oversoul and happen to die, if he loses his super, you're not going to have the Blessing of Light or Weapons of Light or Armor of Light, usually Blessing of Light for the Overshield. You're not going to have that benefit in your next run. So this is actually a hugely useful tactic in especially hard mode Crota, but Crota as well.
Of course. And ensure that your sword carrier is the host. Essentially, the gist behind this is, if the person who has the sword is the host, their timing on when they can strike Crota is going to be more accurate than somebody who is not the host of the party. Have you been in a group, Ditty, where this is like an issue where your sword is off host and he's attacking at like a little bit wrong of a time and it can affect the cycle?
I haven't experienced not having our sword bearer be host, because Sassy has been my sword bearer every time I've done Crota, and he understands. He lives in Australia. He's literally half a world away, and if he's not host, so what happens is, if the sword bearer is not host, he sees Crota kneel like half a second to 2 seconds later than everybody else in the party. So if he's host, he's going to see the soonest Crota kneels. So whenever I'm watching Sassy, whenever he starts attacking Crota, to me, Crota's not down yet. But to him, he's already kneeling, so he knows he can deal damage. So if I was off-host sword bearer, I'm going to miss out on some very vital window of opportunity to actually get damage on Crota. So before the raid happens, when you're in orbit, have your sword bearer or your designated sword bearer invite everybody to the fire team. That way it'll ensure that that person is host.
Awesome. Now, the Necrochasm, what a complicated little thing here. So if you guys are unfamiliar, we've talked about this before, you get a common drop on, well, I guess it doesn't matter. As long as you're attacking one of the Blades of Crota, it's the chance to drop the Husk of a Pit, which is just a common auto rifle from the DLC. You then can upgrade that to a legendary Eidolon's Ally. Everybody had the Eidolon Ally. Hard mode comes out for Crota's End, and Crota drops the Crux of Crota, which is an item that is needed to upgrade Eidolon's Ally to Necrochasm. I hope you all get that by now. I'm probably done saying it forever because we've said it on like frickin' 10 shows now. Finally, people are getting Necrochasm. The first week hard mode was out. I think there was a bug. Bungie didn't say officially if there was, but nobody got the Crux of Crota. So nobody first week had their Necrochasm. Now it's dropped. People are getting their Necrochasms, and the reviews are pretty meh. So here's the deal. Once you have your max leveled Eidolon ally, you upgrade it to Necrochasm with your Crux of Crota. That gun stays max leveled, okay? The Necrochasm doesn't require you to level it up again. It already comes at the max level. Basically, it is the same, though, as Eidolon Ally, but it does arc damage. It also has the Thrall Explosion perk, but not much more. From the consensus I'm hearing, pretty fun gun. Worth the wait and time investment? No, man. Not from what I've seen and not from what I've heard. I mean, have you, gotten the chance to play with anybody who has it, Ditty?
No, I have an Eidolon's Ally myself, and it's about, I would say, 70% upgraded, but after seeing the Necrochasm reviews, I've just stopped. I don't care about it anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I think auto rifles are just boring to use, to be honest. You know, I've been hand cannon main forever. I've started using scout rifles and pulse rifles on my hunter finally, and, you know, I just like them better. Auto rifles, you just aim down sights, hold the trigger, blah, you know?
Yeah.
It would be different if I had like a Suros, because the Suros actually has a higher impact and a slower rate of fire, you know?
Yes.
But Necrochasm, lowest impact, highest rate of fire, and it just doesn't appeal to me.
No, it's a disappointment, I think, because everybody had sort of hyped this up in their mind, kind of like the new Mythoclast. And it's just not anywhere near the same hype and mystique and this charm. I really wish Dark Below would have this secret 5th gun that drops from Crota, and very few people have it. It's blatantly overpowered for a few weeks after it comes out. But man, I was one of the players who really wanted a Necrochasm, and after all the reviews and from what I've heard, it's just meh. And that's a long quest chain for people. Some folks have been waiting a month or working a month towards getting this gun. And meh, whatever. Maybe it'll get a buff down the road, but there's your news for today. Ditty, where can people find your content?
Twitter.com/Ditty DTS, DITTY DTS, and YouTube.com/WOOOSHNESS.
Excellent. You can always follow the show at Destiny the Show on Twitter. Go to our website, destinytheshow.com, from the links from today's show. No super good advice. Sassy will be joining us again next week. You can follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Destiny the Show. I am BBK Dragoon, and you can follow me at BBK Dragoon. You can also check out my youtube.com/BBK Dragoon. Be sure to join our clan. It's useless right now, but, well, it's not totally useless, but until we get visible in-game clan, man, it doesn't fill the role that I envisioned once it would. But
people are active on the Bungie boards. So
they are, man. They are.
Yeah, people are always looking for raiders.
Yes. So join the clan, and links for that are on our site and down below as well. Thanks for listening, everybody. We hope you have a great week, and we will see you next time.